Many educators describe thinking skills as the brain's learning tools. What does this mean in everyday life?
Well, so thinking skills. So, I mean, it means like, reading comprehension, right? So they're using for reading comprehension, obviously attention and then memory and reasoning, right? So, again, if their attention isn't there, then comprehending the material that they just read is going to be more difficult, right? And I remember as a child, we would do reading aloud in class. We would take turns reading different paragraphs. And I was so nervous about reading it right. And once it got to my turn, that I wasn't paying attention at all to the content.
Absolutely.
And then there were times in my early childhood and, early school age years when I would have to read things over and over and over
Mhm.
again, and I always thought, "Gosh, what's wrong with me?" Or I had to rely on friends to tell me what was the homework assignment because I wasn't focused, right? So those are all those thinking skills that I needed to strengthen in order to be able to focus, and of course, those social emotional skills, that nervousness, getting to having to wait for my turn and anticipating that. So, as you can see, those really go hand in hand there. And those are
Yes.
things that parents might not occur to people right away, especially if you haven't been working in education. It could be a really foreign concept, right? And so when teachers give those classroom instructions, again, children need to have that attention, right? They need to have that memory because when they actually are told to start working, they have to remember the order, right? Or what they were told to do. And they need to have that flexibility, right? And then for math problem solving, that memory and reasoning is there as well. And with that, I think that again, relating things to what the child's interested in and really excited about really helps that network of learning, right? Really helps those.
Absolutely. Because how hard is it to pay attention if you're bored versus
Exactly.
like if you're excited, especially like young kids? I feel like as adults, we understand that, like, well, you have to. But I'm picturing like a 5-year-old. I'm sorry, all I care about is dinosaurs. Why would I want to listen to you talk about numbers unless they're a number of dinosaurs? And like for a 5-year-old, that is perfectly logical. So of course they want to be interested in what they're learning.
Right. And then for the early childhood, when they're in preschool and things, you know, they have all of these emerging skills, bringing their needs and interests to the table really helps them to get excited about it. And then they're really learning organically. They're not just learning and memorizing things on cards, it becomes every day for them. And so through play and exploration, they are memorizing, right? But not in the traditional way we would think of it, right? Like rote memorization. So yeah, these thinking skills really work together as the child is learning from very young age, from when they're a baby.